In this video, I'm going to be going through every single gacha trend. Well, not every single one since there's like millions, but every single gacha trend and ranking them. I've only really chosen 18 different trends, or 17, I don't know, but they're all pretty popular ones. If you don't know, gacha trends have kind of taken over a lot of the recommended page when it comes to gacha. They're literally everywhere. Like, if you searched up gacha on the search tab, you'd probably find like 1 billion trends everywhere. Gacha trends are kind of just trends. They can range from 6-second videos to 12-minute videos, or something even larger than that. They can range from mini-movies, random people doing audios, or things like that. So, without further ado, let's get into the ranking. Alright, starting with the ones that I actively hate, in rank 18 we have gacha real crime trends. First and foremost, I want to give a content warning for this one. You can skip to the time on the screen to skip it. This will be discussing real people who committed awful crimes such as murder. There won't be any imagery whatsoever, and I'll do my best to try and stay vague. I don't really think I need to explain why this is so bad. Usually I give an example of this trend, but I really don't want to for this one. Basically, this is a trend where someone would make a gacha character of a real person that committed a crime, and not just something small like passing the speed limit or something. Like murder. They'd use this gacha character and make an edit of them doing bad things to the victim, and even include real-life clips of the murderer, not doing anything gruesome or something, but like just real clips of them, which is already disturbing. I don't think I need to explain why that's so bad, otherwise it'd literally take up this entire video. But in short, these are real people in situations, and these trends are putting it in a good light, being like, wow, murder, so cool. That's not cool at all. Again, these are real people. Okay, now that that's done, next ranking. Number 16, The Mafia Kidnapped Me. I don't think I need to explain why this is so bad either. Basically, The Mafia Kidnapped Me is basically just a mini-movie where someone from the Mafia would kidnap a person, and then they would fall in love. And yes, there is an actual condition for someone falling in love with your kidnapper, except this is portrayed in a good light, like it's something you want to be done to you, and no, you don't want to be kidnapped. This gives off the impression that kidnapping someone is the way to find your true love, which is just not the case whatsoever. It's actually the opposite, surprisingly. It's really harmful to give a lesson that being kidnapped is okay and good, because that's basically what these mini-movies are doing. Not to mention, it's very offensive to actual victims. It's a really scary thing in real life, and not some cute thing. Number 15, No One Wants a Waist Over 9 inches. Okay, this is more of a personal preference, but I really dislike this one. In this 14-second trend, a girl is wearing a corset and tightens it. She's clearly shown to dislike it, but it brings all the boys in. I really dislike this for a number of reasons, but let me just say that the example that I showed is one of the tamest. Corsets were actually invented to be used to help people with a feminine body with their back posture. A corset isn't used to make anyone skinnier, and these trends are really demonizing corsets, which isn't the case whatsoever. It's actually a really helpful thing, but this trend is kind of triggering for me, so I'm not going to talk about it any further. Number 14, Dancing Meme. The only real reason I put this above the other trend that I just mentioned is mostly because this trend can go either way. This is the dancing meme, which is usually about 40 seconds. This trend is usually where there's just two people dancing. It's pretty tame unless the dancing turns a little, you know, suggestive. I mean, once again, you have your classic case of sexualizing characters in a kid's game. When you search up this meme, I'm pretty sure it just summarizes my point, if you get what I'm saying. Alright, now that we're done talking about the ones I actively hate and literally want to remove from my brain, I actually want to talk about the ones I just talked about in general. I genuinely think that those trends, apart from the dancing meme if it's used appropriately, shouldn't be trends anymore. Like, by that, I mean just completely stopped, most preferably just deleted and removed. I mean, there's a lot of other trends on here that I would say the same to. However, I do genuinely think that these are really problematic, especially the no one wants a waist over 9 inches one, and they definitely do way more harm than good. But anyways, let's continue on the list to the ones that I don't actively hate. Number 13, alpha videos. Alpha videos. If you have the least bit of experience in the gacha community, you've definitely seen alpha videos, since they're kinda everywhere. This can range from videos like the female mafia leader in an all-male alpha school, forced to marry the half-blind alpha prince, the kitty's pet alpha, what the heck, the alpha's triplet, the strong, powerful, nice, evil, softy alpha girl change demon alpha, I don't know anymore to be honest. But yeah, you get the point. I can't really explain the plot of this because they're kind of all so different yet the exact same at the same time. But basically, there's this female lead that usually turns out to be a super powerful alpha, and she gets together with another super powerful alpha. The end. Despite me personally joking about how much I hate these in general, I don't really hate them since they're kind of a meme to me and just one big joke. Like, if you like these types of stuff, I mean, you can go for it. If you like any of this type of stuff or trends, you can go for it. And I don't have any problem with you really liking it, unless it's like super harmful or something. But I think my main issue with these types of videos is that the guy in the relationship is always portrayed as kind of toxic in a way. The relationship definitely isn't healthy. The guy is always kind of portrayed as really overprotective, and he doesn't even like it when the girl talks to anyone other than him. The story then confirms it and puts it in a good light by making everyone around her basically demonized, and it puts that type of relationship in a good light. The guy alpha is usually portrayed as really flirty too, which isn't really a bad thing in itself, but he's constantly pushing boundaries, in my opinion, and the girl just responds to it by blushing a lot and acting like it's not that bad. And a lot of times, the guy alpha usually smacks the girl or will hold her and won't let go, even if she asks to, which is definitely a red flag. I also have many personal problems with the main character of the series. I mean, none of this is really harmful, and I'm not going to restrict anyone from actually doing this, but like, can someone please tell this girl that being naive and a doormat isn't cute? That's kind of the only real problem I have with the main character, but honestly, I could go on forever, but that's really just my opinion. I mean, overall, again, alpha videos are really just a big meme to me, because it's really hard for me to take the strong, powerful, nice, evil, softy alpha girl change the evil demon bad boy that is half blind and has a bunch of powers seriously. Number 12, my boss is my ex-husband. Alright, so just like the alpha videos, you've probably seen this one somewhere. These are all many movies of the exact same clones of each other, and unlike the alpha videos of being so different yet so similar, this is literally just copies of each other. They have the exact same titles, sometimes even the exact same thumbnails, and the exact same plot. Everything is literally the exact same thing. The only real difference is the character designs, and even then I wouldn't consider them that different. Basically, the plot is where the husband of a wife cheats on her, then they get a divorce, and then a couple of years later the mom applies for a job, and her boss is her ex-husband. You know, the one that cheated on her. Eventually they get back together and live a happy life. The end. I mean, it's definitely possible to grow from a situation and learn from, you know, cheating. But the only problem that I really have with this is that there's literally no growth whatsoever. The person that cheated pretty much experiences no consequences for their actions whatsoever. I mean, the only source of growth that you really see is the guy crying and begging the girl to forgive him to get them back together. Which, okay. Overall, my boss as my ex-husband is still just a meme for me, kind of like the alpha videos. Still waiting for the day when it becomes my alpha omega evil boss as my ex-husband. Number 11, nya arigato. Alright, so now we're kind of moving on to the ones that aren't bad whatsoever. And I think the first one could easily be the nya arigato trend. Honestly, I feel like this trend kind of ranges from good to bad. It's basically just an animation meme to this audio where they're dressed up as a cat maid or a cat or something like that. It's basically just your average animation meme. A lot of them can range from a really good animation meme with actually really good skill, but some of them are a bit sexual. I want to point out that that is definitely a minority though, I think. Or at least I hope so. But overall, these are pretty cute and I do like them. Also, I do want to mention one thing. To the people saying that these memes are automatically sexual because the character in the animation is wearing a maid dress or something, I just want to say that I don't think that wearing a maid dress makes it sexual whatsoever. Those dresses are made for working. It's someone's choice if they want to turn it sexual, but it's not automatically sexual that they are just wearing a maid dress. I think that's perfectly fine. Number 10. Who do you choose to marry? I don't really have much to say about this. It's painfully average in every single way, but also a little bit odd at the same time. Basically, a girl gets to choose between either a guy or another guy. When she walks up to one of them, then she imagines a life of, yeah, that. When she walks up to another guy, she imagines a life of happiness, and so she chooses a guy that she has a life of happiness with. However, in some situations, both of the guys have a good future, or both of the guys have a bad future. And some that I've seen, the girl just runs away, so the guy proposes to the other guy. And that's completely good and all, but my only real question is that why would he be an abuser in one relationship, but not the same thing in another relationship? Overall though, it's completely fine. Number 9, can you dance like this? This trend is also painfully average. Basically, it just starts out with a person with cancer asking a famous person to do a certain dance if they win a competition. They then win the competition or something like that, and then they do the dance on TV and the person smiles and gets really happy. There's not really much to point out about this trend. I think it's completely fine overall. Number 8, Make Me Your Aphrodite. Another painfully average trend, in my opinion. This one is usually just where there are 4 people, and they all sing a different version of the Make Me Your Aphrodite song. One person sings it good, one person sings it badly, in quotation marks, one person sings it well again, and one person sings it exceptionally well. It first originated from TikTok, then becoming one of the most popular gacha trends there is. There's really not much to say about this trend, it's just really average. Number 7, blinking trend. This trend is probably the most popular one or one of the most popular ones that there is. It first originated from Gacha who had a pretty unique way of blinking using the Gacha Club adjustments. From there, literally everyone started using this. Admittedly, me too, and it kind of took over the entire community for a bit. There's even a bunch of channels revolved around this type of gacha animation, and they're really popular. They changed into poses, hair, wings, literally everything. It's probably one of the first trends that really started the trends of trends. I don't really have an opinion on this trend whatsoever, and I have yet to make an opinion or actually think of it at all. But a lot of people have complained about these blinking trends. A lot of people are unhappy with how popular channels have been getting by just doing this when it really takes not much effort to do so. Not my words, though. I can't really say how much effort it really takes since, contrary to popular belief, I don't have a channel full of 2-second videos of blinking and moving hair. I do understand where it'd probably be frustrating since there's probably a bunch of very long gacha videos that have clearly a lot of effort put into them, and they're not getting nearly as much attention as those channels which have about 2-second videos of doing trends or blinking, which is really just 2-second videos. Number 6, Now I Know What's Real, What's Cake. Another very popular one. I'm kind of surprised at myself for putting this one at number 6 because it's very high, but I think that the reason I did this is because it's just really popular, and it's kind of what started trends. I mean, not that I'm super fond of trends, but you know. Basically, this is just a really short video where people cut themselves up. That sounds so weird, but I swear it's not weird. And half of them reveal cake or something. It's kind of hard to explain, so I'll just show an example. Some of these are kind of terrifying and make me a bit uncomfortable, but I think that it's a cool way for trends to exist, I guess. I don't really have much to say about it though, it's just really average. Some of them are very cool though, and I do like the editing for a lot of them. Number 5, remove all your character adjustments. Okay, this is the last painfully average trend, I swear. This is the removal of your character's adjustments. It's basically just where you have your character in Gacha Club, and then you press reset on the adjustments page of Gacha Club, so that all of your adjustments on your Gacha character will be removed. This one is very average to the max, but for some reason, I like seeing how all the character adjustments would be reset. I don't really know why. Number 4, high trend. The high trend. If you know anything about Gacha trends, you've most likely seen the high trend. It's really, really popular. A lot of popular YouTubers have done this trend, and there's a lot of really amazing animation used for this trend. It's basically where someone is just standing and they say hi using their voice. It's pretty simple. However, a lot of people have done a lot of really amazing animation with it. Granted, it caused a lot of people to be upset, since it really was the first genuine trend, I think, and you'll see later that not a lot of people are really fond of trends. Number 3, singing battles. Alright, so you've probably also seen singing battles. They're pretty much a classic, and that's why I like it so much. I know it's really cringy, and there's literally an alpha bad boy in every single one, but it's pretty nostalgic, to be honest. In a weird way, and that's kind of embarrassing to say, honestly. Basically, it's just something where there are two groups of an opposite of something. For example, boys versus girls, angels versus demons, or devils, or whatever, popular people versus loners, or even something that's not really opposite, and things like that. They always take their turn singing, and usually the last person that goes is always the best. And somehow there's a lot of crying. You know, I won't question it. But honestly, it's just a classic, and I like it, I guess. Mostly for the nostalgia factors, though. Number 2, the hated child. The hated child. The hated child becomes an ultimate demon princess. The savage hated child. The hated child that becomes an Omega princess that can breathe fire and has control of the entire world. The Omega savage demon, mean, nice, not like other girl princess hated child that, I don't know, you get the point. It's probably really weird for me to put hated child at number 2 on the list, but I kind of just like this for the exact same reason as the singing battle. It's very nostalgic, and a lot of people have personally said that they even prefer these weird hated child videos over the alpha videos that we have nowadays. Basically, the plot is just that a girl grows up where the mom hates her and the dad leaves somehow. She gets bullied by her brat mean girl popular sister and her mom until she's revealed to be the secret princess somehow. She then marries one random guy that has no plot relevance, and then she becomes very popular and becomes the queen or princess or something. The end. Honestly, even though this is probably the stupidest storyline ever, and it's literally just multiplied like a billion times, it's simple and nice. Somehow. I don't know, it's just very nostalgic. Number 1, my sexuality and I'm proud. This one is just so cute. I really like it, somehow more than the hated child. This trend isn't that popular, so it's not really iconic or anything, but I really like it. It basically just starts out as someone on the screen yelling some words that I can't play because I'll get copyrighted, then spamming a bunch of pictures of their sexuality. Overall, I just think it's a cute way to express your sexuality and even come out in some cases. I have seen some people dislike this trend because coming out and being a part of the community shouldn't be a trend. And yes, I agree, sexualities aren't a trend at all. But this can be more of a comforting and easier way for people to express their sexuality, and it can kind of make them feel like there are other people by their side since they're not alone when they're doing it. Overall, it's very cute, and I like the fact that people feel comfortable expressing their sexuality, gender identity, or whatever. Anyway, that's my final list. Just a disclaimer, this is mostly a joke and mostly based on my own personal feelings, not really being logical. Despite this though, I do have a video planned for actual gacha trends and what they are. I want to go very deep into why some people dislike trends and why some people think that they're ruining the community. Anyway, thank you for watching. Bye!